Dear viewers, greetings. In this video, we are going to discuss the differences between ultraviolet spectroscopy and ultraviolet visible spectroscopy. The UV spectroscopy measures the absorption of UV light only, but the UV visible spectroscopy measures the absorption of both UV light and visible light. The wavelength range of UV spectroscopy is 100 nanometer to 400 nanometer, and the wavelength range of UV visible spectroscopy is 100 nanometer to 700 nanometer. Light source. UV spectroscopy uses a UV light as its light source, and the UV visible spectroscopy uses both ultraviolet light and visible light sources as its light source. Application focus. UV spectroscopy application is primarily for analyzing the compounds which absorbing in the UV region. For example, organic molecules with conjugated system. UV visible spectroscopy is having a broader application including analysis of compounds absorbing in both UV and visible regions. Example, pigments and dyes. UV spectroscopy is an instrument with UV only. UV visible spectroscopy is an instrument with both UV and visible light detectors. Sensitivity. The sensitivity of UV spectroscopy is typically higher for UV region compounds. For ultraviolet spectroscopy, the sensitivity covers a wide range of compounds, but sensitivity depends on the specific region, for example UV or visible. Regarding sample preparation, the sample used for UV spectroscopy is mainly colorless or light absorbing compounds. In UV visible spectroscopy, we can analyze both colorless and colored compounds. Sample preparation for UV spectroscopy requires careful sample preparation to avoid the interference from other components. The UV visible spectroscopy can often handle a wider range of samples. Molecular information obtained. UV spectroscopy provides info on the electronic structures, especially conjugated systems. In UV visible spectroscopy, molecular information obtained provides broader molecular info, including chromophores and pigments absorbing in the visible region. Cost of instruments. UV spectroscopy cost is lower than UV visible instruments. In contrast, the cost of UV visible spectroscopy is higher due to broader spectral capabilities. Finally, applications. UV spectroscopy often used for quantitative analysis of compounds with conjugated double bonds and aromatic rings. And the UV visible spectroscopy have a wider range of applications including quantitative analysis, qualitative identification, and studying molecular structures. Dear viewers, that's all about the differences between ultraviolet spectroscopy and ultraviolet visible spectroscopy. Thank you for your support. Thank you.